Well, hey there, my farmer friends. It is Corinna from sharedlegacyfarms.com, also from mydigitalfarmer.com, and I'm here for my weekly training. So glad you could join me. In today's video tutorial, I am going to be talking to you about YouTube strategy, and specifically how you can be using a YouTube channel to help you with your CSA sales and lead generation. Now, I actually consider YouTube to be a pretty big player in the marketing strategy for our farm, believe it or not. And I believe that you should have a YouTube channel for your farm. If you don't have one yet, then you should consider making one. And I plan to spend several videos and trainings over the next few weeks to kind of walk you through some of these steps in building a YouTube channel. Today, I want to talk to you, I want to make a case for why the YouTube channel can actually be really helpful. I do think it's one of the top 10 marketing assets that you should be developing first as a digital marketer and farmer. If you want to know what the other ones are, you can subscribe and get that list at sharedlegacyfarms.com/10 things, the number 10 things, and you'll see that list of top 10 marketing assets. So, how can you use a YouTube channel for your farm? I would love it if you would comment below. If you have a channel, you can even link up the channel to share it with some of our farmer friends so we can scope one another's channels out and get ideas. But let me know, what kinds of videos are you putting on that channel? I'm curious to know the style and just what the content in general is. How would you categorize it? I know that a lot of farmers tend to do like I do, kind of just the stories and vignettes of life on the farm. So it might be, hey, I've got a video of how we seed in the greenhouse, or here's a video of us using our huge irrigation wheel and how we water things on the farm. Just kind of giving people a backstage view of the process, because that's interesting. And that's a great place to start, and that's where I began. But you can also use YouTube as more than just this video archive, as a place to put all of those videos because you don't know where else to put them. It can also be a great place to begin this process of moving people through a sales journey so that they're ready to buy. So today I want to walk you through some very specific videos that you might be able to create that would help with that process, and how you can get people to discover those videos so that they'll actually watch them. So here's the thing, people binge watch on YouTube. I don't know if you're one of them, but I know that I am. If I find a topic that interests me, I will sit there and watch it for like an hour, and suddenly an hour has gone by and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just wasted a whole hour of my day on YouTube. But when I'm interested in a product, or I want to solve a problem, or I want to know more information about something, and there is information on YouTube, I will watch it, especially if it's done well, if it's kind of short and to the point, I'll watch it. And this is a great case in point. You guys are watching this video right now because you're finding value in what I'm teaching you. And some of you will spend 30 minutes a week and listening to me. So there is value to YouTube. If you have a message that's going to help a customer feel like they're getting information that's valuable, they'll watch it. So trust me, for your ideal customer avatar, they will consume videos on your channel if it's the right information that's going to answer questions for them. So I started making YouTube videos a couple of years ago that I would call like milestone videos. So they were more than just those little stories about, hey, here we are out in the field, I want to show you how a transplanter works. Like, it went beyond that. I started thinking about what kinds of content can I make that I would call like milestones that will help people move through the journey, so I can get them to a landmark and they can learn this information, or can answer a particular objection, or deal with a frequently asked question, and then move them to the next mile marker in the journey so that I finally get them to the finish line. I get them off the exit so that they'll do what I want them to do, which is buy my product. And I talk about this idea of milestones, milestone marketing, in another video, and I'll link that up here later if you want to watch that. So this coming week, in the next 2 weeks, one of my goals is to actually go back to my farm YouTube channel and really take a look at the videos that I have there that are in this kind of playlist, and say, what can I do? Can I improve some of them? Can I replace them? Can I put new content in here? What's missing? And so I'm excited to kind of walk through that process. I'm going to give you some ideas of things that I'm thinking about putting into that right now. And then you can even go and subscribe to my farm's YouTube channel. I'll put that link down below later. And you can then sort of see how this transpires over the next few weeks, what kinds of things I put in there. And maybe you can watch them and get ideas for what could I talk about? How could I structure the video and say similar things if you're kind of nervous about what do I even say in a video. So I want you to imagine that you are a prospect for your CSA share, okay? And wouldn't you rather watch a 3 to 4 minute quick video on YouTube than scroll through a giant handbook that's available on your website? Wouldn't you rather watch a 2 or 3 minute video that answers a question than try to find it in this giant frequently asked questions page on your website, right? And so I just want you to realize your customer avatar is watching videos. They will consume this, especially if you lead them like a horse to water and help them find this link very easily in your marketing strategy. So I want you to imagine, because you're probably thinking, well, what videos do I make, Corinna? What should I talk about? I want you to imagine that you are your ideal customer right now. Try to get into their shoes and ask yourself, what information would you want to know before you are ready to buy? So this is the question I ask myself all the time for all of my content marketing, okay? This is the question you should be asking before you write an email sales campaign. This is the question you should be asking before you put a Facebook post up or a Facebook ad up. Is it answering a question that your customer actually needs to know to move on to the next milestone so that they can eventually cross the finish line? So asking those questions is what's going to help you figure out, what do I talk about? And then you're just going to make like short videos that answer the questions. I would not recommend making a giant 25-minute video that tries to handle all of the stuff in one video. People don't watch that. So break it up, chunk it up into little sections, and then just do short 4 to 5 minute videos, pre-recorded, so you can do it as many times as you need to, and then upload them to YouTube. So here are some examples of the kinds of videos that you could make, the topics. And like I said, some of these already exist on my farm's YouTube channel in a playlist, but some of them don't yet. So I'm going to be making some of these too. Here we go. In no particular order. So I think I'll talk about that in a minute. I do think the sequence matters in what order you put them in, but I don't have them necessarily listed in that order right now. So number 1 is CSA right for you. You guys do a video where you just talk about that. Is CSA right for you? Talk about honestly and openly, candidly, these are the types of people that would love this. And these are the types of people who would probably not. Don't be afraid to repel, okay? So having a video where you do that, you may need to break that up into 3 short videos. Maybe you have 4 things, 4 qualities that you know are really important based on your experience or your research with your customers. I have 6 things. So I've actually broken it up into 2 topics per video, and I break them up that way. But you could, if you have only a few, then just put only a few in one short video. But that is a great place to start. What is a CSA? This is one of the most frequently asked questions that people ask. They don't know what CSA means. So sure, put that in there. Have a short video that talks about the acronym, define it, explain it. And this is a way to kind of indoctrinate them into the culture and language of your tribe. Another one would just be a meet the farmer. So, you know, in my case, I don't consider myself the primary farmer of the operation because I'm not out there actually doing the seeding. So I'm thinking about, hey, what if I do some kind of a video where we just show them the farmer? Now you may think this is silly, like, well, don't they already know I'm the farmer? Hey, they probably, if they're brand new to your channel, they might not have watched all your other videos of you out in the field seeding or on the tractor or in the greenhouse or at the harvest place or whatever. So you want to have this kind of early on in your segment, like, hey, this is the farmer. We're just going to give you a few fun facts, keep it short and sweet, but people want to connect with you, right? They want to know the farmer. That's why they're joining a CSA. So when you can get in front of them on a screen and talk a little bit about yourself and empathize with your customer in the process, talk about why you're excited to serve them and be their guide and use that kind of language, that's really helpful. Another video you could throw in the mix would be a video where you talk about the problem. Now, if you have followed the StoryBrand framework or you know about the StoryBrand framework, There's a great book by Don Miller called Building a Story Brand. I recommend you get it. I'll put the link down below for you to check it out. But this is a framework that storytellers use to captivate audiences and keep them leaning in. And the character or the hero in the story always has a problem, and your character, your customer, is coming to your farm and wanting to possibly purchase your CSA because they are looking for something. They want something beyond just vegetables. There's another reason that's motivating them. So if you can tap in, if you know what that inner problem is, and you can take a video and just kind of talk about, hey, I know what you feel like. I know that you want to know where your food comes from. I know that you want to connect with a real farmer. I know that you're worried about how your food is grown, or whatever the problem is for you. Maybe it's something else, but that's what it is for us. You can spend a good 2 or 3 minutes on a video where you just make sure your customer knows that you know why it is they're coming to you, and that you are going to guide them through this. You're going to help solve not just the outer problem of, hey, I'm hungry and I need food, but the inner problem that they're struggling with. They're going to connect with you. They're going to sense that empathy, and they're going to move forward. Now, all great copywriters do this in sales. There is an entire section fairly early on in the sales process where you identify the problem and you stick your finger in it and you rub it around and you agitate it. Okay, that is a very, very common copywriting strategy. And now that you know it, you're probably going to start to see it everywhere. When you watch commercials, you will see it everywhere. It is one of the first things that happens. They have to somehow let the customer know that, hey, we know what your issue is. We know what's bothering you, and this is our solution. Buy our product. So have a process, a video in this process where you talk about the problem. You just talk about the problem. And at the end, you mention, I have a solution for this. Okay? Spent a lot of time on that, but that's an important one. Show how the CSA Pickup works. That's another video that you could do. People are a little confused about, how does it actually work? How do I pick up my box? So go to a pickup site sometime this summer, or if you're doing one right now, if you're still doing something in season, have someone take a video of a customer actually walking up to the table to pick up the box, and just film it, and you can narrate it while it's happening if you like. And then if you have additional things that happen, like we have an extras table, for example, and they can just pick out extra things, or there's a swap box, have the person do those things in the video and narrate it, talk about, hey, this is part of the process. Or if there's an opportunity to get extra food through an online store and you have people that have purchased that and they're picking that up too, talk about that in this video as they're getting it, so that they can see, hey, when I go and buy, join the CSA, this is what it's going to feel like and look like when I show up each week. And they're also going to pay attention to things like, how long does somebody wait in line, right? Or how long is this process from start to finish? Is this a quick in and out thing? How many people are there? They're going to be looking for things like that. So just kind of pay attention to if you want to do it during a busy time so they can see that, wow, there's a lot of buzz, this is exciting, then film it during a busy time when a lot of customers are there. If you don't want it to be very busy because you want it to kind of flow in and out, then film it during that time. Either way, you should show them the process for how they pick up the box. All right, testimonial videos. You guys, social proof is so huge. It is one of the 4 reasons that people buy. In fact, people do not purchase something until they know it works, until they have seen someone else say, this was awesome, I loved it. So if you don't have that in your sales process, they will resist, they will pause. This is one of the places that you can put it. You can have a video of a customer that you talk to and say, hey, I just need you to get in front of my camera, and for 2 minutes, I want you to answer this question. I really love my CSA because, and then tell them to fill in the blank. And before you turn on the camera, maybe just have them practice a few times so that you can kind of coach them. Don't be afraid to coach the testimonial. That is totally fine. And you can say, hey, that was great. I just need you to maybe say this at the front where, say your name, tell me what site you are, how long you've been a member, and then, try to keep it under 45 seconds. And then just have them practice a couple times, and then you turn on the camera and you can tell them, look, if it's gonna bomb and it sounds bad, we'll just delete it and we'll do it again. I would also recommend that you choose this person wisely. Don't just pull a random person from the line and ask them to do this. I want you to think strategically. Who are your best customers? Who are your raving fans? How can you set up this person for success, right? You know the people that are talkative and would be good at this in front of the camera anyway. Ask those people. Don't ask the really shy introvert who's freaking out about getting in front of a camera. They're not going to do a great testimonial for you, not a video one. So be selective and choosy and pick some good ones. I would try to get like 3 or 4. Go to a pickup site. Again, pre-select them, let them know you would like this from them so they can have some time to think about it, and then film them. And now you've got 3 or 4 video testimonials in your YouTube archive that you can pull from. You don't have to put them all in there, but they are going to help be that piece, that social proof piece that people need. And you can put that in the playlist cycle. All right, a whole nother category is what I call frequently asked questions. You know what they are. There's probably a list of 5 frequently asked questions that you get over and over and over again. My friends, make it easy on yourself and create a video that answers them. I would recommend that you make 1 video for each question because, again, we're looking for short 3 to 5 minute videos tops. If you can get shorter, even better, all right? And if you stick them all together in one giant frequently asked questions video, you're not going to get people to watch the whole thing. So just do 1 at a time, and that way when they see the title of the video and it's something they actually are asking, they'll watch that one. This is also great because once you know the YouTube link or URL address for that particular frequently asked question, if you get this question from someone in an email or in a Facebook post on your page, you can go to your content archive log. I taught you about that last week, how to build one of those. And you can just scrape it and put it onto your Facebook post, and it shows up as the video that they can watch. So it's really easy. You don't have to sit there and type out the answer. You can give it to them in about 30 seconds using a URL link. All right, so frequently asked questions, common ones that I get. So these are videos that I plan to make. I think I have some of them, but not all of them. One of them is payment questions. I get a lot of questions about how does payment work. So I'm going to talk about how that works in a video. What is in the box? Oh my gosh, that is the number one question. I actually do have a video right now that tries to answer that by showing people the difference between a half share and a full share, or now we call it a standard share in a large box. But so I tried to answer that. I'm going to try and change it because I feel like I need to change the format of that a little bit. But you need to show people what actually comes in a box in a different size. If you have different types of shares, you should have, show them, this is a cheese share. This is what the types of things you can expect. Here's what a fruit share looks like. I don't have any of those videos yet. And that is one of the reasons I think those particular products are not selling as well for me, because I don't have a good visual for them. So what's in the box? And if you have, like I do, a lead magnet, like I have the planner, it's a calendar that shows people what's in the box based on each season, then I can say at the end of my video, my call to action can be, if you want to see a detailed calendar guide that's going to give you a rough idea of the types of things that might be in your box on week 1, on week 2, on week 3, then you can get that by downloading it at sharedlegacyfarms.com/calendar. Okay, and now I've just captured their email address, and then I can follow up with an email series. So this is another great question that you should definitely be answering. Another way you could answer this is by doing a live video unboxing. We do this every week. Last year we did that every week inside of our private Facebook group. This coming season, I'm actually going to ask my community manager to do it on our public facing business page as well, because I want the public to see every week the kinds of stuff that comes in our box. This is a great strategy just to tease them and say, this is what you could be getting. All right, so if you have a video like that you're doing all the time anyway, just pull it, take an example, and use it on your YouTube channel in this sales sequence playlist, okay? What will I like what is in my box? That's a question I get a lot, so you can create a video about that. Picky eaters is another kind of objection or question that I get from people. You could do a video on that. What if I go on vacation? Can I customize my box? You know what I mean. You go through the list for yourself and decide if you can make or you should make a video to answer each of those. Complicated features of your product or complicated processes. This is another example of a video you could create for YouTube to help sell your product. And some of these you might have to explain using something like Screenflow. Screenflow is a software that you can buy. I think it's $100 or so for the MacBook that will allow you to take a video of your actual screen. I think you can do it with, I'll look into that. I'm pretty sure there are other softwares. I only use a Mac, so I don't know what they are for PC. But you can do a video of your screen on your computer as you're showing them something that they can do on the web. So let me give you an example of what this might be. How to use Harvey. So if some of you are using Harvey, I don't know if, I'm not actually a Harvey customer, so I don't know what the support is here if they do this for you. But if there's some confusion for your customers for how to actually each week go in and tell people, or tell the farmer, this is what I want to have in my box, I think that you have that option, right, to kind of customize it. And if they're confused how to do it, maybe you could show them how to do it on the computer using Screenflow and then say, hey, this is one of the things you'll be asked to do. And that could be a really cool feature that would seal the deal for some people. And now you've also given them a training video. Katie says, free screen video, QuickTime. That is what it is. Thank you, Katie. QuickTime. So QuickTime is the other software that you can use. Thanks, Katie. How to fill out a cut list. I feel like I harp on this all the time, but if you're a beef producer, I really believe that one of the reasons people are not moving forward in your sales funnel is because they cannot figure out how to fill out the freaking cut list, okay? So if you can do some kind of training video and put it on YouTube and show them how it works, that's probably gonna be a big deal for you. I know another one that I do, I have a really awesome feature called the Online Academy where my members can access every cheat sheet I've ever made, all the storage guides, all the veggie ebooks, all the video tutorials, the canning classes, everything is inside the Academy, and people can purchase memberships into the Academy and download everything. But for my CSA members, it's free. But I have a video that I have made that walks them through a tour of the Academy so that they can see how cool it is, how to use it, where to find stuff. So that's another example of making a video that explains a potentially complicated feature or process so that they can really understand the value add that comes with it. How do you find recipes on your website? So if you have a place where you're putting all your recipes, you could do a video that just talks about this particular feature and maybe shows them, hey, this is how you can get, download or find recipes or do a search by vegetable. How your private Facebook group works, so you can give them a backstage tour of your private Facebook group for your CSA if you have one. And then you can showcase how, what are some of the awesome features. So if you have a really strong Facebook group and it's really, really good and adds a lot of value, again, this is a way to kind of showcase a feature that will maybe seal the deal for someone and say, oh my gosh, that looks really awesome. I could get all that support and I could get ideas for what to do with the stuff that comes in the box when I'm stumped that week because other people will be posting pictures. And then even here's my last idea in this section, just how to sign up. You could do a Screenflow video because some of you, I'm sure, no offense, but I have a feeling that some of you have a slightly complicated sign-up process. Now you may not think so, but you probably do, and I even think that mine is so easy now, but I'm sure that there are parts that are confusing to people. So what if you did a sample, Screenflow video of you buying something? Let me show you how to put something in your box. Click on this arrow to select the number, then click this button, and if you want to add a fruit cherry, you have to go back to this page. And when you're ready to check out, here's where that cart button is. It's so hard to find, isn't it? And if you have a coupon code, it goes down here. And don't forget to enter your pickup site location in this box or it won't work. And this is what will happen when you click submit. You'll get a page like this. Okay, so what that's doing for someone is it's just saying, it's kind of giving them confidence. Like, this is what it's gonna look like. You can anticipate that this is the page that will show up after you click this button. it just reassures them. And so when they actually walk through the process, they'll know kind of the milestones within this small part of the journey. And they'll know when they're done, and they'll know what they're supposed to look for. Okay, so that's also, I think, another potentially really good video that you could create. All right, so I know one of the questions some of you might be asking is, Corinna, no one is going to go and search on YouTube, because here's the thing, YouTube, in case you don't know this, is the number 2 search engine in the world, and it is owned by the number 1 search engine in the world, which is Google. Okay, so it is primarily a search engine. That is how it is used. And this is one of the reasons why the keywords are so important, because people are looking up things. And some people will say, well, Corinna, no one is going to go and like type in this question for keywords for, how to find a live video unboxing of my farm. That is potentially true. But here's the thing, you can set up your videos so that people will binge watch them once they find one of them. Okay, so here are some things. These are like the 4 things that you can do to make that happen. So number 1, in case you didn't know, I think you probably do know this, but you can create playlists in your YouTube channel where once you've made them all, you can create an actual name for a playlist, and then you will tell YouTube when you make a particular video, I want this video to show up in this playlist. You check mark a certain box. You can even rearrange their order. Okay, so if you put them in the right order, and then you lead people through your other marketing strategies to the first one in the series, people will find them and they will move through the playlist. Now, I recommend that you think about labeling. I'll do a special video just about how to do playlists, but pay attention to how you label your playlists. So you might have one that is just start here, or rookies start here, CSA interest start here. Like, come up with, that's not a good title, don't use that, but come up with something that identifies what the playlist is about, okay? So that it's very clear to them, like a big sign, arrows pointing, you should watch this if you're interested in this topic. Another thing that you can do besides the playlist is you can create cards. I did not know about this cool feature until a few months ago. This is really awesome. I will do a special video showing you how to make cards, or you can Google it or go on YouTube. There's a ton of people that show you how to do this. But the cards are like these, you can put 5 cards in each video, and they're like little annotations that pop up in the middle of your video. And so you can say something like, I might say here, hey, if you want to check out the 10 other things that you need to build as marketing assets, you should go to sharedlegacyfarms.com/10 things and download it. And then later on, when I go back and edit this video, or when I upload it into YouTube, I can create a card right at that point that says, that pops up during the video in the right-hand screen. And when somebody clicks on it, it's got some text on it that I type, and it'll take them to that page. Or I can say, hey, I think you should watch so-and-so video, and it'll take them to that page if I create a card. So you can, when you create these cards in the middle of videos, it's like you're coaching what the next video should be. You're teasing them, you're letting them know, hey, there's another great topic that I think you may be interested in. This happens a lot if you listen to podcasts. People, if they do this really well, they'll bring up past episodes that they've done when they're talking about their particular topic, and they don't have time to go into detail, and they'll say, hey, I already did a podcast all about this. If you want more information, you should go to episode 44, and I'll link it in the show notes. It's the same kind of thing where you start pointing all these different directions, and then people start binge listening because they just follow these rabbit trails. And that's what cards do for you in YouTube. So you can figure out, as you're going through this video, if there's something you want them to watch next, you just create a card for it in the middle of the video, and now they're likely to click to that one and start the next one. All right, another thing that you can do is create a suggested end screen. I think that's what they call it. So when the video is over in YouTube, you have the option when you set up your video there, you can say, I want this screen to appear, and this screen, I want it to say, watch this video next. And then you have to pick one of the videos that you've already got in your YouTube channel. I do this all the time with my Digital Farmers YouTube channel now, because I know that once I've come to the end of a video, I'm like, well, I feel like after they've consumed this content, this video would be really helpful for them. So I'm going to point to this one. So that is called an end screen, and you can set that up as you upload your videos into YouTube as well. Again, it just points people where you want them to go next. Okay, that is the goal of this whole process. You just want them to binge watch. You want to take them to the next milestone, the next mile marker in their journey. Finally, another possibility that you can use is to actually tell them what to do, what to watch next in your video itself. So you should always have a call to action in every video, at least one, maybe two. And so you can tell them at the beginning of the video and at the end of the video, hey, this is what I want you to do next. So you're leading them down the path. Now this requires a little bit of, pre-planning if you're doing a bunch of videos at once, or hey, I'm gonna do these 6 video topics, then you can kind of write your script. You know what your call to action is gonna be like, hey, ideally after video 2, I really want them to go and do the unboxing video. So I'll say that. I'll say, hey, I've got a video on how to unbox what a box looks like when you open it, and you can see the kinds of vegetables that are in it. If you want to see that, go to this video. You can give them the link, or you can say, I'm going to put the link in the notes, and then you can create a card for it too. Okay, so these are just 4 different ways that you can then guide people through the videos in the order that you want. And remember, that is your role, right? You are the guide in the customer's journey. You are trying to help them get to the end of the story, and you're warming them up, and you're making them ready for the sale. You're dealing with their objections. You're answering their questions one by one, and you're building trust along the way. Okay? How are you using YouTube right now in your strategy? I want you to share with me the types, maybe the categories of content that you're creating. Are you just using it as an archive? Are you just posting videos of what's going on in your farm? Or if you have another type of video that you think we could add to this list that I just went through, throw it down there. If you have a video that you've made that works really well, put it in the comments. I would love to see what they are. Now, here's your call to action. If you do not have a YouTube channel, I really want you to think about making one. And I will be spending the next few weeks walking you through these trainings, some of the different steps that you need to do in order to actually set that up. But there's also tons of resources. If you don't want to wait, you can go online and kind of Google and look for people to learn how to do some of that. But I want you, after this video, to make a list of the 5 videos. Let's just start with 5. If you want to be an overachiever and make 10, go for it. But let's start with 5 videos that you could create that you think would help with your sales strategy. Okay, there's a whole bunch of other videos you could make. We'll talk about that in another training for onboarding your customer. But let's just talk about sales strategy and lead generation, okay? What are 5 videos that you could create? And I want you to just write down those topics this week. And if you can commit to making 1 or 2 of those videos, gosh, if you could make all 5, that would be great. But maybe just start with 1 or 2, get your feet wet and kind of learn the ropes, okay? And then begin to build this process of building a playlist. Now, I want to encourage you also to subscribe to my farm's YouTube channel. I'll put the link down in the comments later, so that you can see my process as I go through this over the next 2 weeks. There are some that are already there, but I'm going to be adding additional ones and kind of rearranging the order. So you can look at an example of another farm that's doing this. If some of you are already doing this, please, 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 just share your channel or share where we can go to see it done, because I know that's what farmers love. They want to see examples to inspire us. All right, and finally, if you want to download the other 9 marketing assets besides the YouTube channel that I think you should be making and collecting and building as a digital farmer, then go to sharedlegacyfarms.com/10 things, the number 10 things, and you can get that list. Sometimes it's helpful to just see a list and know where to start, right? If you liked this video, give me a big thumbs up, please, or a heart or an emoji or something. Share it, comment. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so you're notified of future trainings. You guys, thanks for joining me, and I will catch you next week for another Marketing Minute Makeover. All right, see ya, bye.